everyone, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Brandon.
And this is Fish or Price Ranch. Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Sarah with Fish or Price Ranch. First off, please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. So sorry it has been just a little bit since I've done a video. Basically, I want to give you guys an update on everything that's been going on and not going on. So basically, not going on, the goats did not breed, or at least I didn't see any breeding. It was really stressful having the goats all over the place in pens they're not supposed to be in just to try and get some breedings done. And it was getting to be too much. So I called it quits after just 2 weeks. I know that goats tend to cycle every 3 weeks. And if I had just waited one more week, who knows what would have happened. But I was at that point that I just mentally I couldn't handle it anymore. And so anyway, we went ahead and moved all the goats back. And the good thing with that is now we're able to let them out to graze again. So I'll show you guys some clips of the goats grazing. They're really enjoying themselves a lot. We have basically not been doing a whole lot of projects lately. Brandon was able to finally find a job. He'd been trying so hard for a year since we moved here. He had one job and at a restaurant, and they shut down after he was only there for 1 week. So, and then he got hired for side jobs, and around Christmas time, they just quit calling him. So he'd only worked there for 3 weeks before I don't know what happened there, because they loved him. So I don't get it. But anyway, so he just started working at Pizza Hut. He had been applying literally everywhere, gas station, dollar stores, anything he could find. So he finally got hired at Pizza Hut. So he's over there working. He's working about 4 days a week. And so with him being gone, it's hard to get big projects done around here. So things have just been kind of put on the back burner for now. We are still working, as you could see, on our addition. I just finally found a front door. Yay! So excited. So we still have, this is wide open, as you can see. So we still have a lot to do on the addition. We have to finish the outside still. It's not complete. It's almost there, but it's not complete yet. But luckily all the animals have solid shelters. I think you guys saw that in some of our more recent videos. All the animals have solid waterproof shelters. And so we're basically at the point of when we had all the storms roll through, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, we had 12, almost 13 inches of rain. And we lost all our hay, which we couldn't even afford in the first place. But we were able to get a little bit more. We didn't buy a bunch because we don't have anywhere waterproof to put it. So that's going to be one of our next projects. We do have more rain coming this weekend, Easter weekend. And we're supposed to get another 4+ inches of rain, which is great because it's making everything grow. But we are going to, basically our shed, we need to find metal roofing to finish the shed so that way the rest of it is waterproof. And then we'll build a platform in there to store the hay. That way it stays dry. So anyway, that's kind of what's really going on as far as projects go. But let's show you guys the animals and give you an update on everyone there. I did want to say real quick, make sure you guys stay through the whole video because we're going to go out and see everybody and I don't want you to miss out on anybody. So we're going to do an update on everyone. Okay, well this is our view right now. Spring has sprung. I am so excited for that. Look at how everything is just greening up. It is looking so good. Excuse the mess. We are slowly cleaning up the yard. I don't show a lot of around the house because you guys will see it in some videos. I try to avoid it, but sometimes I can't. But we've done a ton of cleaning up in the yard, other than what the wind damage did over here. We still have to pick that up. But here is our addition. it is almost there, but we put everything on the side of the house out of the way, so we're able to clean this up. But look at how tall this grass is. This grass right here is almost 2 feet tall. I'm loving it. And look who else is loving it. Here's all our barn kitties. Are you guys enjoying this beautiful day? Yeah? It's like 65 degrees today. Hi, bud. There's Quill. And Rocket. Hi, Rocket. He's Quill's son. And there's Yondu. Hi, Yondu. Hi, bud. Yeah, good boys. So the cats are doing good. They're happy kitties. All right, and as far as the chickens go, they have their solid roof. We share a lot on Facebook and a lot of videos, short videos and pictures and things. And basically they are not going to have much more than this for right now because this isn't their permanent space. They've eaten down all the grass in their entire pen. They have a good 1/4 acre. I mean, their fence goes all the way down there. You can see that T-post there. And it goes all the way down the driveway, comes all the way over here. But anyway, they've eaten down everything. It's all just dead. But their chicken coop's gonna go on the other side. There's our shed there. And it's going to go on the other side of that, and they're going to actually just free range everything. So this fencing and everything is all going to come down. So we're not going to do a whole lot with them, but they are doing great. They are laying like crazy. Now their feed in their barrel got wet on one side, so I just gave them their whole 55-gallon drum. So we don't have to feed them for quite a long time, but we wanted to open up the barrel so it didn't go moldy. But it's just one big clump of food in one spot. So basically we don't have to feed the chickens for quite a while, but they are laying like crazy. We only have 14 hens and we're getting around 10 to 12 eggs a day. So I'm overloaded on eggs right now. All right, and we just cleaned out the chicken coop too, so that's what that is. But the rabbits, I'm going to start chopping some of this grass. It's so tall. The rabbits are doing fantastic. Here's our trees. They've woken up. As you can see, they've already grown almost a foot just since they started coming back. But these are going to be shade for the rabbits over here. And I mean, look at our willow tree. Now, if you guys saw, we didn't plant these till like September. And they were only a foot tall. And so they grew this much, basically 3 foot. Last year, just in a couple of months. So you could see there's another catalpa, another willow there. But yeah, they're very happy. But our rabbits are doing good. We've got some that are just hanging out, enjoying the day. But yeah, everybody's doing good. So this girl here is bred. She just got bred. And then I was not happy with the litter that we got from this girl. Not her fault, because I absolutely love her babies. But we had borrowed that one buck, and I wasn't too excited about the litter. So we ended up, because they're not even weaned yet, she had 11. And they were making a huge mess in this cage. And like I said, I wasn't happy with the whole litter. We're going to hold on to this doe and this buck and just see what we can get as far as that goes. But we went ahead and we do feed our dogs these rabbits as well as us. And so that's what they went for. These are off the door, sweetheart. This is the litter that lost their mother during that storm, March 14th. And they're doing fantastic. I also did cull 3 of them because they were just not growing very well. These ones are still doing good. They're definitely smaller than what they could have been if they were with their mother. So I'm still kind of waiting to see how they do. They're not quite weaned yet. They're only 7 weeks, so we're going to see how they do. Hopefully they'll be grow well enough to be hopefully future show rabbits for somebody. But we'll just have to wait and see. And then here's this girl with her babies. Hi, sweethearts. Those are her 3. All right, and then we have Penny. She was bred with Totosai, and look at her cute. So she did lose one, but these, because it crawled out of the cage and it ended up down in this crack. When the door is shut, it goes right there, and it ended up down in here when it was only a couple days old, and it didn't make it. But these ones are doing fantastic. We got 2 magpies. We got a solid magpie, a broken magpie. It looks like sable magpies, because look at that, nose is turning gray, and then 1 black one. And we're going to keep all 3 because we no longer have Totosai. We had to put him down. He ended up with a mass in his chest. Now this girl, sorry, hold on, I got to open this door a little bit so this opens more. There we go. This girl, her babies won't use the nest box anymore. I don't know why, so we went ahead and pulled it. But they are doing fantastic. Look at these chunky monkeys. Yeah, look at these chunky monkeys. Big old fat babies. These are Hojo's last babies for us because Hojo went to a new home. So she's doing fantastic with these big old chunky babies. And we'll probably hold on to 2 of these. Hi. But she's doing good. That's Rin. And then Ayumi, who is our Vienna doe. Hi, sweetheart. She's doing fantastic. Look at her babies. These are out of Sesshomaru. So we ended up with a chinchilla with a split face. What that means is it's harlequinized and half the face is darker than the other. We also ended up with a castor, same way, split face. You can see it better on him. Him, her, I don't know yet. And then we got a whole bunch of brokens. We have some with white ears, so that's, from what I understood, is that could be the Vienna gene. You can see the white ears compared to a typical broken where the ears are all dark. Here's another typical, oh, that's a tail. There we go. Typical broken, the ears are always dark. So seeing the white ears shows it could be Vienna marked like she is. So they're still a little young yet to see if they've got blue eyes because their eyes are just opening. But we have our fingers crossed. All right, and then we have Harlequin here with her litter of 7. Are doing fantastic. These babies, now Harlequins are 14-pound doe. These babies are massive. Oh my goodness, look at the size of this thing. Woo, calm down. Look at the size of them feet too. All right, calm down. But they are all massive, all of them. She's got 7 in there. 4 of them are tricolors and 3 of them are Harlequins. Good job, Mom. And then of course we have our grow out bucks. Here's a Zumo. Hey buddy. There's Ginta. Hi bud. And then we've got these guys here. There's Zero. And we've got Kai and Entei. Yeah. Good boys. Good boys. Now I want to build a new cage like this one. I absolutely love this one way better. I don't like this one because when we built it, we put the wood sideways on the bottom. And if they poop on the wood, I can't clean it very well. So I want to get rid of this cage at some point, and they've chewed, you know, a hole in it. I had to put this board in. So this cage eventually will go, and we'll build a new cage that'll go here that's like this one. Super long, really big. But here's our grow out girls. Hey girls. So we've got all these pretty girls. Hi babies. Hi. Pretty girls. Yep. A quick update on our garden. Not a whole lot going on. We've been watering it pretty good. We do have, this is our basil and spinach bed. We do have something coming up right there. And we do have some little tiny, like there's one. You know, there's lots of little tiny pieces of greenery coming up, but it's still a little early, but we're not seeing a whole lot just yet there. Same in this bed. This one has a whole bunch of different stuff. The radishes are doing fantastic. They're all popping up like crazy. And then this one over here, we're not really seeing a whole lot either. So we're just going to give it some more time. It hasn't been that long. I think it's been just a little over a week. I know some seeds don't sprout right away, so we're hopeful. Alright, so this is our mess of a yard in front of our shed. It's not bad. Mostly it's a huge wood pile. which I'm hoping once we finish building a few more little things that we can get all this cleaned up, because I don't like that we have patches of dead grass everywhere. But basically, we're gonna clean out this little section over here because we're not really using it for a whole lot. Everything's just kind of like thrown in here. So we got to fix a couple boards there, but we're gonna clean this section out, put it in a platform, and get it to where it's waterproof. Probably enclose this side and maybe even part of the front. And this is where we're gonna store our hay for now. I mean, see how much grass is coming up. It's insane. So the goats have been being let out every single day for the last like 5 or 6 days. And they're loving it, but right now they're locked up because they were done. They didn't want to graze anymore. So they're already put away for the day. But there's everybody. The kids are doing fantastic. We did have to move Finn. And the only reason we had to do that is because she was letting everybody nurse off of her. She didn't care who it was. And it was fine at first, but then I realized that it started to hurt her son because he wasn't getting enough milk because all the babies were nursing off of her. But then at the same time, because all the babies were trying to nurse off her, they weren't nursing off their mothers. So a lot of them were not getting enough milk. So we had to separate her. And we decided, because Forget-Me-Not has triplets, that her smallest wasn't doing super well, and so we put her in here and she's fostering her for us. So she's starting to do better. But let's show you guys all the kids. All right, so we have 19 kids. So we have the 2 over there, and we have little Coot. She's right there. That's Tinkerbell's daughter. Velvet here is our monster doe. She has a monster kid also right there. That's Magnificent. And there's Pippa, her daughter, Kiskity, and her son right here sleeping. That's Condor. Here's Forget-Me-Not. That's her son, Rufus. And we've got some babies laying underneath the minerals. Oh, quite a few. We've got, hi, Phenopepla. She's my sweetheart, aren't ya? Yeah, you're a Pippa granddaughter. Yes, you are. There's May with her mom, Daphne. But we've got Colima and Sparrow. And then we have Falcon laying down. And it looks like, I can't tell off the top of my head who that is. Let me get a better angle here. Oh, goodness. Who is that? Oh, that's Pipit right there. And then we've got Aztec right there. There's Storm, being a good girl. Yep, being a good girl. And then we've got Goldeneye right here with his mama. And there's Rusty. Oop, it's okay, Rusty. And then, who else do we have? Oh, more babies. Hi, Ebony. Here we are. Here's Montezuma. Hey, Bud. And Jaeger. And there's Violet. I think that's everybody. I didn't do a head count. I did one earlier. But Montezuma here is a Franklin son. And so was Jaeger that just went by. Is he okay? Yeah. I know, you like your babies, don't ya? Yeah, you like your babies. You're a good girl. Good girl, Storm. All right, so that's them. We're going to go down and see the bucks. Look at the trees. They're just starting to leaf out. The leaves aren't fully out yet, so they're going to get a lot of shade soon. Now, we've been giving this pasture a huge break from the goats. They haven't been on it at all yet this year. It's because we want the grass to grow super tall. But Blaze is in there. Now, we had him separated because of the baby goats. We didn't know how he was going to do. Blaze! Oh, hey, bud, what you doing? Hi. You being a good boy? Yeah, you're being a good boy. Yes, yes. Yeah, good boy. So he's been doing really, really good. He's actually I didn't even see him. He was underneath the shade over there. He has his house here. He's got shade underneath the tree. But he's been actually hanging out next to Finn, and Finn's babies have gone through that fence and he has not hurt them at all. So I'm very proud of him. He's doing such a good job, aren't you? Yeah, you're doing such a good job being a good boy. Yeah. So eventually he'll probably get to go back with the goats soon. I just want to make sure the babies are up and running good before we do that. All right, so we're heading down. You see all of our trees are waking up. Oh, I passed it, but we also have the purple empress trees. And look at that purple. Isn't that so pretty? We want to plant more of those. They're great food for the animals. The leaves get really, really big. And of course they're beautiful in the spring. They're full of purple. But we actually have quite a few on the property, but I would say maybe I've only seen about 6 or 7 on the whole 70 acres. You can see another one right there. You can see all that purple there. So super, super pretty. We want to plant a lot more trees up on top here so it's not so open. We want to get a lot more shade and forage for the animals. But we're heading over here to see the boys. Now, remember, we only have 3 bucks because we did lose, well, we sold some and then we did lose quite a few, like 6 or 8 or something like that. Well, after the first few months after we got here, they just we didn't have very much luck as far as the parasites went with our bucks, but our does, we haven't lost any. But the great news is, with only 3 bucks, oh, the dogs just heard me. Hi! Hi, Hulk! Hi, bud! Hi! Hi, Thor! Hi, buddy! Hi! Yeah, good boys! Good boys! So the great thing about having only 3 bucks is their forage is growing in like crazy. Hi, Cosmos! He got really sick. We almost lost him. And he is gaining his weight back, but he's shedding absolutely horribly. And, you know, I'm thinking part of it is because of how sick he got, his body just freaked out. But we're hopeful that once he's done shedding, that his coat will look beautiful again. Huh, buddy? Yeah, but he's gaining weight, but you can see how thin his hair is. And he's got all that cashmere that's coming up. It looks really bad. But that's all cashmere coming up off of him. And so anyway, yeah, I bet that feels good, huh? Scratchy, scratchy, scratchy. Yeah, look at all that hair coming off. Yeah, you're a good boy. But here's Franklin. Now Franklin is actually going to be leaving us. We decided to keep 2 of his sons because they have not just Franklin genetics, but they also have Bazooka and Cosmos genetics. Hi, buddy. Yeah, hi. I know you want attention. So having the 2 crosses will give us a larger buck. Franklin's not very old. He just turned 2, so, you know, he's still a young guy, but we like the real big bucks like this. So having this genetic in mixed with him, I'm really excited for his kids. So we're going to keep his 2 sons, and he's going to be leaving us. And then we have little Kronos over here. He is just turned a year old. I do believe he would have been a lot bigger without the stress of the move and everything. But he's doing really well. He has not needed any deworming. Neither has Franklin. Franklin's done fantastic. So anyway, we are hopeful that Kronos will catch up to maybe Cosmos if we're lucky. But they're doing fantastic. So the great thing with only 3 is their pasture is growing in, and it will outgrow what they can eat. So hopefully it'll get really tall very, very soon. All right, you guys, well, that is our update for now. I've been kind of, I guess, not hesitant. I need a little bit of a break off of social media, so I'm probably not going to be posting a ton of videos. I need just a little bit of time. I just kind of got burnt out, and I personally have gotten burnt out on the farm a little bit. I had a hissy fit the other day. If you're on my Facebook, I'm sure you saw that. I just kind of lost it for a minute. And so anyway, we have decided to cut back on some of the goats just to utilize the funds that we make from the goats to do some more fencing. I feel like if we can get our goats on more pastures where we don't have to buy hay all the time, it will really help us out a lot financially, and it'll give them more fresh forage, and they'll be a lot healthier and happier. So if anybody is interested in some of our Kikos, we do have some registered stock available. Some are going to be going with their kids. But it is all does other than one buckling. So if anybody's interested in any of our Kikos, definitely give us a holler. You can check out our website at fisherpriceranch.com for more details on the goats. We are still selling livestock minerals, so if you're interested in the mineral buffet system, you could also check that out on our website. But yeah, basically, we're just kind of going to cut back just a little bit on everything and tone it down just a little until we get more set up. This move was very stressful for us and the animals, and we didn't expect it to be this stressful. We have started over. If you guys saw our last property in Concho, it was vacant land, but we had more help over there, I think. We had the money for it, but we also had the support. Here we don't know anybody, and so we do still have support online, and everybody roots for us and things like that, and family, of course, has been very helpful. But I think more mentally, this has been a lot more than we thought that we could handle, and so everybody's just kind of run down, and so we need a little bit of a break. I could never sell the farm. I don't even understand what life would be worth living for if I didn't have my farm. My animals are everything, and I just can't imagine living, in the city. Neither can Hulk, apparently. But, and not having anything to do. I mean, I don't understand what life would be like without animals anymore since I've had them. I mean, obviously I did it before we had the farm, but now that I've had the farm, it's just, I don't feel like it's worth it, if I didn't have the farm. But we do need to tone it down a little bit just to get more comfortable, more set up, so it's not so stressful. I realize that, we're not set up, and that plays a huge role in the stress. We don't have running water still. We have to heat water to do dishes, so it's a chore just to do dishes, which is already a chore. We have to heat up water and bucket over us to take a shower. We have to haul water for the animals, and we have to do so many things that are very difficult when you don't have the easy access to it. And so, this winter was really hard for us. We didn't have the heat or the funds to keep going, and we've had to ask for help. And luckily now, Brandon has a job. I sell the minerals. We do make a little bit there, but it's still just, everything all together is very stressful. I'm gonna get out of the sun for a minute. So I think just toning everything down a little bit, trying to make some money off of these animals, and using that to get more set up here is our goal, and we could always grow back later. So anyway, that's kind of what's going on. So I do apologize in advance if you guys don't see as many videos as we normally have, just because the way things are right now, we're just kind of stuck until things kind of move forward with selling off some of the livestock and being able to have the money to keep going. So just know that we will still be here, but I do need a bit of a break for me and for Brandon, but we appreciate everyone that's followed us this far, and don't worry, we will still have plenty more videos coming. They just may be spaced out just a little bit more. So thank you guys all so much for watching, and we will see you soon.